What's poppin', everybody? This is Wolf94 here with a deck update to Metal Magnezone. The Magnezone here with Magnetic Circuit giving you that energy acceleration for metal energies is still around. It's an Ultra Prism card, and the same goes for the Lightning Magnezone, although we're going to be focusing on this one today. The Lightning one, you just might as well use Pikarom if you're going to try and use that Pokemon. But this deck is an Ultra Prism deck pretty much, using the Metal Magnezone with a Pokemon like Dusk, necrozma GX, and other metal Pokemon. It saw a little bit of hype when it came out, and it didn't do much. I think partly because people don't really know, most people anyway, don't know exactly how to build these decks. They're very difficult. You got to do a lot of different things to make them as consistent as possible, but have all your tech options, your energy recovery cards, and what have you. But the premise is you get out this Magnezone that lets you attach as many energies of X type as you want. We've seen this ability many times before, in this case metal, and you power up a Pokemon like this Dusk necrozma GX and get one-hit knockouts with Meteor Tempest. So when this guy came out, and the Magnezone Ultra Prism, 220 was a magical number. It got one-hit KOs on the Stage 1 GX Pokemon very easily. And you had Sun Eclipse GX2 to help you out against those Stage 2 GXs, depending on the situation. And this Pokemon was pretty solid. Didn't see much use outside of Magnezone, and I guess maybe some people tried to make like B-string decks featuring this Pokemon. I think Puka did that. But it's a decent little Pokemon. I wish it was better back then. It did more stuff, but it didn't. And now with the new rotation and the new Tag Team GX Pokemon roaming around, it's not going to be, this strategy isn't going to be as efficient. So we got to do things a little bit differently. It probably won't be very effective, but I wanted to try it. So, as you guys can see, there's only one Dusk necrozma GX. We're dropping it from our main attacker. It's only going to be used as a tech. If we go up against those Stage 1 GXs, it should still be really good. Sun Eclipse GX is a way to get an instant knockout on some Tag Team GX Pokemon. But the real focus is going to be on Dialga GX here. So this Pokemon is somebody that I ran in my previous versions. I think is a very nice Pokemon. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. It does a lot of cool little neat things, but he's not the best at all of them. It's just a nice little package card. So it's a Dragon Pokemon, 180 HP, a weakness to Fairy, and a bad 3 retreat. And there is a metal version if you want to try it, but I prefer the Dragon one. I'll explain later why. If you play a game and things are going slow, Overclock, you can use that to draw cards, so it's good. It's a good little first attack, a drawing attack, support attack. Shred is a mini little attack, just doing 80 for 3, but it won't be affected by any effects on the defending Pokemon. So you can go through a lot of things, can go through a lot of the basic immune Pokemon, GX immune Pokemon, those kind of things. It's going to ignore any other effects. It's always good when you have an attack like this. Doesn't do a lot of damage though. And Timeless GX, the main reason we're going to use this Pokemon is a very broken attack, difficult to use, but when you use it, you're getting a huge advantage in the game. So it requires 5 energies, 3 of which need to be metal, and you're only going to do 150. However, once you use this attack, your opponent's turn gets skipped, so you get to use this attack, and then you play again, you draw a card, you can play another supporter, make another attack. Pretty much it skips your opponent's turn, as it says. So this can be very powerful, and it is one of our ways we can do this and sort of get a one-hit knockout on any Tag Team GX Pokemon. You do this, Timeless GX, you're going to do 150, soften it up, and then retreat, move this guy out of the way, power up a different Pokemon, and then get the finishing touch. You sort of get the KO in 2 turns, but since your opponent's going to get their turn skipped, it's almost like you're doing this in 1 turn. It's really broken. And it's our main way we're going to try and get one-hit knockouts on Tag Team GX Pokemon. Now, you're only going to be able to do this once, but, I mean, you're going to get 3 prizes by KOing a Tag Team GX Pokemon. So maybe it's going to be enough to give us enough advantage to win the game. We're going to have to do other stuff too. But this is what I'm going to try and do, is just focus more on Timeless GX as opposed to Duskmane necrozma GX, and just make use of this attack to get knockouts. So even though I say this, I still only run one because this is a one-trick pony attack. You can only use this once. I mean, if we play this guy down and he gets picked on before we manage to do it and he gets KO'd, then it's going to be sad. But I don't want to run anymore because the stuff he does is pretty situational. Shred is situational, Overclock is situational, and Timeless GX, you're only going to be able to do this once. So these are going to be the Pokemon, and I'm going to try and use basic attackers and just get 2-hit KOs on a lot of Pokemon. So we have this Solgaleo Prism here. This Pokemon is very good. Prism, so it's 160 HP, also from Ultra Prism set. Corona Impact does 160. It's nice. It's in that range to a 2-hit KO a lot of the biggest Pokemon, basically any Pokemon. Now we won't be able to use it 2 times in a row because of its effect, but it's nice. Like I've said, you can just use Dialga, make the big attack, switch to this guy, get the finishing touch, and you just put pressure. And Radiant Star can be handy sometimes too, you never know. Gather energies from the Disc of Power and attach them to Pokemon. The other guy is going to be this Heatran. Now in previous builds, there was no reason to run this guy when we have Solgaleo as a sort of basic attacker, non-GX attacker. But like I've said, there's just no point running a Pokemon like Duskmane necrozma GX in multiples because even with that overkill damage it does, 220, it won't be enough to knock out the biggest Pokemon. So might as well just run Pokemon like this Heatran. So this guy's 130 HP, also pretty good. Guard Press, decent, whatever. Boiling Impact is your main attack. 130 and you discard 2. I hate seeing Heatrans being weak to fire. I think it's ridiculous, but this guy's also weak to fire. Should have been weak to water. And this is pretty much it. We also have this Magnezone. Sometimes you're going to attack with this guy. He's another little decent attacker. 130 with Zap Cannon. Stage 1 attacker, 150 HP. Or Stage 2 attacker, rather. Not bad. So these are basically the Pokemon, and then for the last sort of attacking tech, I'm playing this Frost Rotom. Now, this guy is basically the replacement for Duskmane necrozma GX. If you want to drop this guy and go for another Duskmane necrozma GX, it's up to you. But I decided I'm going to make this deck to really just counter the meta, but at the same time be the same good old Magnezone deck that I played before and liked. So fire decks are a big problem, not really because they can get a one-hit knockouts on us because of the weakness. Reshiram would kill us anyway with 230. The problem is that guy has massive HP, 270. We can't quite get the KO on him, and we make things easier for them being able to use the outrage attack. So, if they have 7 energies in play, which is usually possible for that deck, Rotom can get a one-hit knockout with Frost Crush. Starting with 10 and doing 20 more times the amount of energy attached to all of your opponent's Pokemon. So this is going to be my little water tech against them. I tried to figure out if there's other ones that are good. Really the only one that would probably be more consistent would be the new Tapu Fini, because at least you can use that against the Blacephalon GX decks too. But I don't have that, and Frost Rotom is going to help us against Reshiram. So this card is decent. Lightning decks gather a lot of energies on the field. The Dark Box decks, if you play against them, gather a lot of energies. So you could use this Pokemon to do a lot of damage for just 2 energies. It just gives 1 prize, so why not try him out? Give us a little bit of tech action. And that's pretty much it. That's all the attackers. The rest are going to be support Pokemon. I've got my Dedenne GX here. This card is very, very important in a deck like this. We gotta improve our speed and consistency as much as possible, and this card is gonna help out a lot, especially with no Tapu Lele GX. Discard your hand, draw 6. Searchable with the Cherish Ball. That's very nice. Then I got the Mew. That bench barrier is very important against many different things, so have that down and not worry about spreading, not worry about snipes. Good. And then I guess the line is going to be pretty standard for the Magnezone. I suppose I need to mention you got to run this Magnemite with solid unit, give you that protection as well. And then one of the Magnetons. This one is the only one available pretty much. and the lightning one. I don't like its to retreat, but it's pretty much the only one we can run. At least I think. That's the only one. That's the only metal one, at least to my knowledge. Right, so the Trainer Skeleton. Trainer Skeleton, we're running the 3 Cherish Ball. This can search as the GX Pokemon. If you had 2 Duskman necrozma GXs, this card is more live and more consistent. Otherwise, we just have 3 of these balls for 3 targets, which can be a little bit risky sometimes, but it is what it is. I gotta do what I can to boost the consistency. Then we got one of the little balls. This is to recycle the Magnezones back in the hand, sort of like a rescue stretcher, just reserved for that Pokemon. You never know. We might discard them, we might use them. Then I've got some energy searching. That's very important. Got triple energy spinner. It's not quite letter, but it's going to get us those energies in hand. And I got some energy recovery cards that are necessary. We still have the one Fisherman. One of these guys here. Don't want to run anymore because we don't have Tapu Lele GX. There's no VS Seeker. This guy is good when you can use cards like VS Seeker 2 or Tapu Lele GX. It just makes it a lot better because even though it's a supporter and you can't play this and play like a Cynthia, you can do a lot of neat tricks when you have Lele around. You can instantly search it when you need it. With VS Seeker, you can grab it back if you discard it. So it gave you a lot of flexibility that something like Superior Energy Retrieval couldn't give, or Energy Retrieval, even though that would be easier to use. But since we don't have Lele anymore, just one, and instead I'm just going to run more Mount Coronets. Before I run 2, now we run 3 since we don't have Energy Retrievals. And Stadium Hate and Stadium Disruption is very real. Many people run a lot of stadiums now, play sets of stadiums. So we want to play this down. When our opponent plays a stadium first, you want to play it down and make use of it. You don't just want to play it down. Play it down when you know you're going to use the effect to grab energies from the discard pile. So at least if they got rid of it, you get the plus. You get the energies from the discard pile. So 3 of these, and then I had to get a little creative and run one of these energy recycle systems. So this card, during the EX Power Keeper days, which I made the review too, I really like this card, but it's not really that great. But now that we don't have a lot of stuff going on in the standard format, you could use it. It's only going to get you 1 basic energy into the hand as opposed to 2 with energy retrieval. But you have the option to make it like a Super Rod too and put 3 basic energies back in the deck. So I decided, hey, you know what? Just 1 copy of this might not be bad. Let's just try it out. So another energy recycle option. Recycle system, as it says. I've got some regular drawing, 2 of this acrobikes, and I run the 3 whistles too, just some straight draw, thin the deck, draw cards, see the stuff that we want to see. It's all you can really do when we're missing so many options. And I suppose since I things like the Field Blower isn't around and other cards aren't around, we get a little bit more space so we can add consistency cards without worrying. So there's that. I still run the double switch in this deck. We have a bunch of Pokemon that have big retreats and they could get stuck, so this can be handy so that you don't waste your energies trying to move them out of the way. Rare Candy, Stage 2 guys, you know, you gotta run it. And I think that's just about it. There's only the supporters left. The item skeleton is pretty self-explanatory. Just boost your consistency as much as possible. And that's pretty much it. So for the supporters, I had to do some different things this time around. So things like the Cynthia are still in there, maxed out. The one Erica could always be handy, so she's still in here too. The Fisherman I talked to you guys about. This is an energy recovery card. Very useful, very necessary. Double Lily. This is also good if we see it turn 1. Otherwise, it's just a good draw until you have 6 card. I've got the 1 Tate and Liza for another switching option and shuffle and draw 5. Solid, flexible. And the 1 Volcaner as the Scala dude getting me those candies. Okay, so the cards that normally wouldn't be in is Jasmine and Fanclub. Now Jasmine, I did run her in previous lists when she came out. This card is pretty good, I think, as a one-of. If you're lucky enough to go second and see it, it'd be good if we had, Tapulele GX to search it, but unfortunately we don't. You can instantly grab 5 metal Pokemon, and it's pretty freaking broken. This solves your I have no way to get Magnemite problem. You're going to be able to instantly search them out, search even Magnezone in hand, search your other basic Pokemon. It's just perfect, broken. Excluding that sort of specific plus you can only get if you play second and your first turn, it just searches a metal Pokemon. But since we don't have Ultra Ball, and since I usually want a way to grab the Magnezone, it's decent, no cost, get the Magnezone in hand, get another metal Pokemon. It's okay as a one-of. Now, the problem is, though, like I've said, getting the Magnemite is very difficult now because there's no real way to search it. I can't use Mysterious Treasure to search it. There's no Nest Ball. So we gotta run this Fanclub, unfortunately. Now, this card, I wouldn't really like running it because it just gets you 2 cards. But because I'm running the Dedenne GX2, I thought, hey, you know what? I think it makes the cut. It's not super great, but it just does enough that it can be good at the right time. So it can get me those Magnemites, and it can also instantly search the Dedenne GX. So we can use it as a drawing card too. So I felt like, hey, you know what? Let's just run it. I need to run extra supporters anyway. There's not enough stuff in standard right now. So try this out. You can try and do something like Elm, use an Elm engine or something, but the only Pokemon you have to search is Magnemite, so I don't know how I feel about that. I would always rather use Lily on turn 1 if I can. So you're just going to have to hope you get lucky and you see this Magnemite. So that's pretty much how it goes. And that's pretty much it. The rest of the stuff is the metal energies. We got 9 metal energies because I had to squeeze in 2 water energies for the Rotom. It's not the prettiest solution, but I just want to give myself a little out, just give myself a little option against fire, because otherwise there's no way this deck can win against Reshiram. Maybe with this we can put some pressure, use a Pokemon that only gives 1 prize. I guess you never know. It could be good. Okay, so this is pretty much the deck, guys. It's a tier 3 deck, if I'm being honest with you. But I'm going to try and make it work, try and show you guys some decent games. Maybe can do a little bit better now with less competition, even though the competition, it just completely destroys it. Like the few Tag Team GX decks that are really good, they're pretty much the meta. And we do have some decent matchups, I suppose, but for the most part, this is a tier 3 deck. Just for fun, I'm going to try and use it though, and hopefully I show you guys some good games. If you want to build it, this should be a decent list though. So I hope you guys enjoyed, hope you guys subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with your friends. I'll see you guys on the matches as always. Cerebral 4, we'll say